Installed version
Mhm.
index is a proposed EBM measure under ability to innovate. Would you consider experiments to be an interpretation of installed version index?
I'm not exactly sure what Fred means by experiments, but my interpretation would be no, I would not. So installed version index. It's funny. I think we were just talking about this yesterday, Ryan. I once worked for a place that was it was a regulated environment, and our ability to upgrade a current deployed version of our product was really cumbersome and difficult. Required a lot of manual intervention, and I was lobbying to make that deployment more smooth and to make it so that you could just hand audit a bunch of changes, and basically it was easy to upgrade from one version to the next. And I could not convince the CEO to spend the money on it until I got a list of all of our customers and the version that was installed on them, and showed the burden that it was putting on our support team trying to maintain a list of 50 customers that were on 50 different versions of the product. Right. So installed version index would be how many customers are on what version. Because if you find customers, if your current version is version 15 and you find customers on version 7, the ability to upgrade them to version 15 could be quite difficult. So installed version index is going to tell you what customers are on what version and how many are differentiators are different than your latest version. Obviously, the further away a customer gets from a earlier version of the product, the worse off it could be. Now, this is a lot of times deals with on-prem stuff. If you're a cloud application or you're something where people are consuming from the cloud and it's that way, odds are this isn't even a worry of yours, but this is more for like private on-prem type stuff. So
Yeah.
I would say probably very different than what you're meaning by
Yeah.
experiments, Fred.
The funny side of this one, or maybe not so funny, is that when Microsoft went to sunset Windows 98, right? Keep in mind, Windows 98. It's, I mean, it's
Hmm.
ancient. They went to sunset it, and major manufacturing companies freaked out. There are still conveyor lines that are running off of Windows 98 that cannot upgrade, right? And so now Microsoft came back and they're like, well, if you give us a truckload of money, we'll still support it. So there are companies all over the country and all over the world delivering truckloads of money to. It's very, very. These support contracts are in the millions, to continue supporting, because they. And again, I don't have insight into the Microsoft internal decision making, but to along the line that Todd was saying, it's incredibly expensive to have Windows 11 and Windows 98
Hmm.
and teams supporting both.
Hmm.
And so if you're willing to spend, $1 million a year, they'll keep doing it, but they sunset that thing.
Hmm.
And what was funny was some of the customers could not move. And so now they are paying that price. And um, this on product installed version index is just so important to watch, because the analysis that Microsoft released, and it was in a number of like Wired articles and things like that, they were bleeding money
Hmm.
supporting Windows 98, Windows XP, Windows 95, trying to be everything to everybody, and it was billions.
Yeah.
Once they cut it, profit,
Yeah, and
right?
that's what this smaller company. It was the support was growing, the support staff was growing, and it was costing a lot of money on an annual basis. Hold on a second, I could be with you in 3 days. I got to figure out how to install version 7 because we're currently on 12, and then
Yep.
I can help troubleshoot your issue. Oh, we fixed that in version 9, but we can't upgrade you because of your regulated environment. It's yeah. So
Now I got to say,
I don't
I
know what
don't
the
like
definition of experiment was. But
I don't like how Apple handles this, Todd. I'm a little irritated by it. They'll just turn your old phone into a brick at some point, right? They'll just update the
yeah,
iOS until your phone doesn't work, and then you have to move up in your version.